Hi there, and welcome to the Tapping Tree. This is the FasterEFT TransMonkey Mama coming to you to tell you a little bit about my youngest. My youngest son is 10 years old, and he's been having severe nightmares for quite some time, where he wakes up in the middle of the night, he does sleepwalk, and will be crying uncontrollably, not sure how to soothe him other than to stroke his head or lay down with him and just talk softly to him. And sometimes bringing him out of that trance that he's going through is a little scary because I don't want to do it too sudden and then shock his system. So from time to time, when that happens, I just basically hold him and rock him and tell him I love him. And my husband does the same thing. But yesterday, in particular, he told me, "Mom, I want to sleep with you. I don't want to sleep in my bed because I see monsters and I see scary things in my room. That's why I leave the light on." And I said, "Well, it's okay to leave your light on in the closet. And I understand that you might be scared because you're seeing things that are made up in your mind." We talked a little bit about it, and I've been playing the FasterEFT quick tap method around him just to kind of get him used to hearing it. And so I asked him if he would like to do some mind magic before we went to bed. So I laid him down in his bed, and we started talking about what he saw. And I asked him if he could close his eyes and think of a very happy memory. And he mentioned, "Well, Mom, it's black and white because it's dark and I can't see anything." And I know he was being resistant because he thinks it's funny that I tap, and he doesn't understand why I tap and what's going to happen when I start tapping with other people and charging for a living. How am I going to make this my life work, and will people take me seriously? So I know that's simply manifestation of my own fears coming out in him. I know children tend to reflect their parents and their unspoken truths. So I'm really working on that so that he can see this is really something that works and helps. So I asked him to close his eyes, and he did, and he was resistant at first. And so I asked him a silly question by asking him, "What color is a banana? Can you see a banana in your mind?" "Yes." "With your eyes closed, can you tell me the color of the banana?" "Yellow." So you can't see in color. It's what you choose to do with your mind. So let's try looking at a video clip in your mind. So can you think of a really happy time? Yes. And at first, he gave me an image of a puppy we used to have, and it quickly turned into something negative because we had to give the puppy away. He needed more help than we could give him. And so he's going down that road, and I stopped him and I said, "Well, I understand that those things happened and they weren't very happy, but there were lots of happy times." And he's like, "Oh yes, I remember chasing after her because she wouldn't go on the pee pad, and how sneaky she was, and how much fun I had when I was in my pajamas and I stayed home because I was sick one day and she snuggled with me." And we have that particular picture so he could imagine that. So I asked him to close his eyes and see it in bright color, and we started tapping. And I kept it simple. I did the quick tap method, release all sadnesses, fears, emotional traumas, guilt, angers, resentments, abandonments, helplessness, hopelessness, feelings of no control, rejections, and everything else related to this. And before I could even say it, he was breathing in, breathing out, and saying peace. And then we simply tapped in the really happy memory, and we continued to tap, and it was simply let it go, it's safe to let it go. And I reminded him that if in the middle of the night he felt scared or uncomfortable, at any time he could do the quick tap himself. Between the eyes, let it go. Side of the eyes, let it go. Under the eyes, it's safe to let it go. Collarbone, let it go. I'm letting it go. It's safe to let it go. Take a deep breath in and gently squeeze your wrist. Say peace. So it seems like he had a really good night rest. I talked to him this morning and he seemed really happy and perky. He was actually up earlier than usual. I did forget to ask him this morning, but I will ask him, and I'll post the reply in the notes below under the video. And all I can say, he seemed more alert this morning than he had been. He usually struggles to get up, and I think it's because he's having restless nights. So we'll work again today some, and if he lets me, we'll go ahead and do some tapping together.